Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have another 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 here in the Northwest, ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Tightly knit together here for these teams, starting off with Team 1 Chevy Crimson, and then working our way clockwise, we have Protect. He is an Aeon for this match as a 2200. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. We have in Snow White next door to him. Lots of rocks around them. We have Zelby Lykob as a Cybran as a 1600 in Snow White. To his south, we have in Pac-Man Yellow Drimmer as a Seraphim as a 2000 rated player. Next door to him, we have one of each of the factions so far here for Team 1. It is I want to say Tabernacle, but that's not what that is. Tabernacle. There we go. Wow, I don't know why that was so hard to say. Tabernacle. Gonna call him Apple for short. He is a UEF for this match as a 1600, as I spend a bunch of time on his name. And to his west, we have Chicken. He is an Aeon for this match. He is an 1800 in Emerald Green, and he will probably never play Seraphim, just despite the fact that when I say his name Chicken, he's not going to be building chickens unless he gets a Seraphim faction, engineer or just base in general. He's just gonna build it. Galactic Colossus and call it a day there. And last but not least, for Team 1 in the Northwest, we have Amon-Ra as a UEF in Ruby Red as an 1800. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 UEF, 2 Aeon, 1 Cybran, and 1 Seraphim for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's Southern player in Imperial Gray, and then working our way clockwise, we have the 2100 of Dimitri 11. He is the highest rated player on his team of Team 2. And again, he is a Seraphim for this match. To his northwest, we have in Orange Color Orange Winter as an Aeon as a 1500. To his north, in the best faction, no, not best faction in color combination, I'd say second best faction in color combination, it is Red Visimosis. He is not red, so that's not going to be confusing when I call him red throughout the game. He is in Forest Green as a Seraphim as a 1900. In Land Octan, making his way to the north, probably going to dip his toes in the water, and has one of the best additives of all things for food. It is MSG. He is in Light Octan as a Cybran as an 1800. In Regal Purple to his east, we have Insidious Noob. He is an Aeon for this match, again, as an 1800. And man, there's going to be a lot of reclaim here for this map. And for Team 2's southeastern player, we have in Glow in the Dark Green, Voss. He is an Cybran for this match. He is an 1800. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have two Cybrans, 2 Seraphim, 2 Aeon. Team 2 lacks the UEF faction. And for 12 players on the map, I know it's going to be a big one. I'm not even going to just guess how much mass and reclaim do these players have. Almost 400,000 mass in reclaim. I'm just going to call it 400,000 because 3.5 minutes has passed. And, I mean, these players have already been scooping up the reclaim. So 400,000 mass in reclaim divided by 12 players is, what is that, 34,000 rough math. That is a ton of mass to scoop up in this game. And the map does not disappoint with the mexes as well. Most of them are kind of just shotgunned everywhere across the map, but there are a little bit of grouping. So I'm going to cut the map down, kind of nice diagonal northeast to southwest here. Looking at Team 2 side of the map, there's a Trimix position that MSG already grabbed, another Trimix position that Winter is possibly going to get. Maybe Dimitri will get that. There's a nice little Trimix position on this little peninsula over here. Kind of looks like Denmark a little bit. Just a little bit. He is going to probably be very, very grateful for that Trimix position as he goes for a Navy. And I can say that's a Trimix position over here to the northeast, possibly going to be grabbed by Insidious. No, Insidious or MSG. There's a lot of mexes between those two comms in that position. There are a lot of mexes, and like I said, a lot of reclaim to scoop up here in this game. Team 1 and Team 2 already producing over 200 mass in total. And I would like to point out these are all pros in this game. There are no Joes, 1,500 to 2,200 in this game. And there are 3 2,000 rated players, that being Protect and Drimmer. I was going to say Dimitri for some reason. Drimmer for Team 1 and Dimitri on Team 2. Those are definitely the players to watch out for. But all of the players are threats in this game, as they are, of course, labeled quote-unquote pros in it. We do see in the South, Team 2's Orange Color Orange player and Imperial Gray player of Dimitri moving westward, as well as assisting Red Visimosis in conquering that western side of the map. In the Northeast here, it looks like only 2 players for Team 2, that of course being Insidious and MSG. We do see the rear guard side player has emerged. It is Voss, and his opponent in the air looks like it's going to be the Ruby Red player. It is Amon-Ra. And he's already upgrading to T3. I mean, with all of this reclaim, I would be very surprised not see a very, 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 very early T3 air facility. Maybe we'll see first bomber. Maybe we'll see that. I don't know. We'll just have to watch and find out. I don't see another air player as of yet. T2 already making its main stage appearance here for Team 1. But just look at the rocks on this map. Man, the map generator has just blessed us today. Look at them all. Look at that nonsense. Reminds me of that other map I casted a while back, but instead of it being a desert, it was a nice little lush green environment. But still, same situation, just a ton of rocks. And we already see the Seraphim are going to have some nice little fighting in the middle of the map here on the naval side of things. There is also UEF facilities, which is a very smart move, I might add, on Team 1's part. They are the only team, or the only side, or team, or whatever, to have UEF on their side. They have 2 UEF players, actually. So having those governors are very, very crucial to the just bombardment of Team 2. But to be fair, Team 2 and Team 1 both have Seraphim, so they both have those TAC missile launcher cruiser nonsense missiles. But, you know, Team 1 has 2 factions that can do that, and Team 1 has 2, Team 2 has 1. I think I said that right the second time. I don't think I said that right the first time. I could have, but numbers and T's and whatnot are confusing sometimes. Anyway, you can just see, look at this just fanning out on the map. And, of course, pond in the middle. There's a little bit of water here in the northeast and the southwest, as well as a couple of pockets dotted around the map. Our player is probably going to hide the everywhere across the map. We could even see maybe some Cybran torp plays, in the water. Maybe not. Protect's going in the water now. Zelby would probably be the most likely for Team 1, as he's the only Cybran. And MSG and Voss, so probably going to be MSG if he does dip into the water. I doubt it, but we'll just have to see. Team 2 has claimed the southwestern section. Team 1 has almost claimed the northeastern section, so it's turning into a mostly north v south game. Upgrades have been started for both teams. Team 2's MSG going for T2, as well as the naval player here for Drimmer. For Team 1, we do see gun has been started by Tabernacle. And again, I'm going to be calling him Apple. It's kind of fun to say Tabernacle now. I don't know. After struggling to say it in the beginning of the video, I was like, no, I might want to keep saying it just to get myself versed in saying those interesting names for sure. Winter going for a speed upgrade down there. Speed on the way here for MSG. He's canceled his T2, so he's calling me a liar. Not calling me a liar, but kind of tricking me there and going for T2 and then switching for gun. He probably notices that there's a lot of units inbound from Team 1. And again, not as many as you would expect. There's a group of Team 1 units, and then a break, and then a little bit of Team 1, and then a heck of a lot of engineers because of all of the nonsense in the reclaim. Gun speed almost done for Winter. Don't see that many drops yet from either team into the backline, or even just anywhere to just disrupt engineers going for reclaim. Nano repair going here for I was going to say Napple, but Tabernacle. And again, very early to go for Nano, especially for a UEF commander. Usually you wait till you drop to about the middle or so, or even obviously the red to really go for Nano. But going for it very early will give him a lot of leeway. Not a lot, but a decent amount. And now he's going to go for... Wow, he's just pumping all of that mass into his comm right now. He has gun. He has Nano. He's going to have shield. You might as well just have built the Billy Nuke and called it a day at that point. T2 in the Navy for both teams. Team 1's laser weapons are coming full bear. Same thing here with Team 2's destroyers. Another one being built, I would presume. He's probably going to do the 2-1, where he's doing 2 destroyers and 1 of those cruisers. That did start submerged. I didn't realize you could do that. I thought the T2 destroyer started, like everybody else builds T2 destroyers on the surface and then drops below, but I guess it started underneath, which is interesting. Anyway, a couple of hovertech units inbound here from Chicken, disrupting Winter's eco operations, at least the reclaim operations. He has his own hovertech units online, the Blazes. Actually, we see a couple of Seraphim naval factories. I lost my train of thought for a second, or just the words for it. Very interesting. He's going for that. It's a small pond. We may see some cruisers possibly to just lock out any sort of flyby opportunities for Team 1. Drimmer has tactical missile now online of that Seraphim commander in the water. T2 almost done for Zelby. We do see MSG, of course, has gun, and Insidious Noob still reclaiming, hanging out. There's still a ton of mass to scoop up. Almost at 100, almost at 1,000 mass for Team 2 per second. Team 1 almost at 800. I say almost 1,000 just because it's almost 11 minutes. And we're almost at 1,000 mass per second. And there's still 100,000 mass on the field. Players, I mean, they've already scooped up 300,000 plus mass. That is just that's just so much. I mean, technically they've absorbed 400,000 with dead units and that kind of thing. But that's so much mass. So much mass. Tactical missile has been started for the Seraphim commander of Red. And again, it's going to be a Seraphim war in the Navy. Missiles both on comms and on cruisers. Team 1 has T3 Air Online. Team 2 also has T3 Air Online. Team 2 has a second player. Actually, excuse me, that second player going T3 Air. A third player has T2 Air as well. Team 1, do you have anybody else in the air department? Yes. Team 1 Chevy Crimson player of Protect is in the air as well. So no, that's a land facility. 2 T3 air players with a third or tertiary air player in the form of Insidious Noob. He probably built that for those. What is he? He is Aeon. Maybe we'll see some Mercies. I would love to see Mercies, but we don't see those that much anymore. We see probably more Fire Beetles than I see Mercies. Advanced range has been started here for Insidious. He already has the speed/range upgrades on board. Units with MSG pushing and trying to grab this little peninsula outcropping here. MSG, 12 minutes, builds an experimental, one of the earliest I have ever seen in this game. There it is. There's the Monkey Lord. I would expect it out of a Cybern, especially with this much nonsense and reclaim. Dang, that's an early experiment. So it's going to be huge for Team 2. Huge if they can deploy it and get tons of damage with it. T3 Navy online for Team 1's Chevy Crimson player up Protect. He has an Omen. Will you go for the missile ships? Ooh, those would be deadly in the water combined with the Seraphim and UEF cruisers. Looks like the UEF tech is kind of fallen to the wayside for a little bit. And still Team 2 on the defensive here. Tons of just these Blazes trying to break through here for Team 1. Not really getting that much territory. Not getting a lot of depth into Team 2's main engineer / reclaim / the nonsense. We do see a Colossus has been started and is already half done for Team 2. Team 2 just full sending it with experimentals. They don't know what to spend their mass on, so they're like, we'll go over the experimental. Why not? That'll work, right? Hopefully, right? Team 1, are you spending your mass on anything interesting and spicy? No, not as of yet. This T3 naval facility, though, is very, very interesting. Very early T3 land facility. T3 naval facility, man. Struggling with the talking. I'm recording this the day before it releases, and I think it was just a long day at work. My brain's just kind of fried. It's Friday. We do see Tabernacle pushing in with that UEF nano gun and shield. Commander Winter only has speed / range on board, but does have a lot of assistance in the form of some T2 and T3 assistance. Those 19,000 hit points on board that commander are getting wiped. But, of course, Winter is now starting to be focused a little bit more than he was earlier on. Winter, I mean, he's still holding in, to be fair, getting underneath some asylum coverage, as well as, of course, just getting rid of all of the hover tech units Tabernacle in full retreat. He gets his head underneath the surface, so he'll be fine for now. But he has been pushed away for the time being. In the middle of the map, bombers inbound going after the cruisers here for Team 1. Then probably going to go after the battleship. Team 2 still only at T2 naval tech, so going to be outclassed and outranged here pretty shortly with all of that firepower. Missile launcher, of course, inbound from Drimmer going after more mexes. Looks like for MSG currently. And Red has not done really that much with his missile. Only killed 100 mass with his comm. Looks like a little bit of an airfight here between Team 2 and Team 1. Not too worrisome. It's kind of the early stages of T3, especially because they were going after the bombers. The Omen actually moving over here to possibly intercept this monkey. Team 1 now notices the monkey and goes, uh-oh, that's not good. The Omen is now going to chase the monkey as much as it can, or shoot the monkey as much as it can. Second Omen or third Omen is about almost half done. Omen over here. So 2 Omens for Team 1's Chevy Crimson player up Protect. He's getting some of those Spectre gunships online just to assist in dealing with the monkey. Actually has a lot of them online. The monkey only killed off almost 4,000 mass so far. Not really that much in terms of damage done here by Team 2's really early monkey. And that T3 land facility is going to go the way of the dodo. And I think the monkey lure is going to go the way of the dodo as well. He might get enough to get a rank in veterancy, but I don't think it mattered anyway. There it goes. First experimental of the game is killed off. And that'll be a nice little grouping of reclaim for Team 1 to scoop up. We do see in the south, again, another push inbound from Chicken. Now he has Harbingers to replace his earlier Blazes, which are still on the field. But, of course, the Blazes are being protected, or at least being distracted for by said Harbingers. There is that Colossus online for winter now. Is Team 2 building anything spicy? Yes, they are. 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And a nuke is not loaded. It is built, and it is half done. That is a super early nuke. Team 1, do you have any inkling of that thing? Yes, you do. You know that is built. Where is your SMDs, and where are they? They need to be built immediately. I don't think that question made sense, and I don't think it matters because that nuke is going to make everybody rethink that SMD coverage. Of course, there are 2 Omens that could easily go after that nuke if they can get into range most handily. If they get to essentially what the naval facilities are, they can hit the nuke. Bombers inbound going after the first of the 2 Omens. Omen not feeling good. ASF over top here for Team 1's Amon-Ra coming in to deal with those bombers, not allowing a second pass to occur. Team 2, where is your naval tech? Still at T2. And it's not looking good. Those Omens are coming into range. That nuke is 3/4 the way loaded. If Team 2 can get this one, fire it off, they could easily kill off a player or an entire air grid, or hopefully both. SMD is built but not loaded. The only one, oh no, there's another one over here. That one just barely built as well. Team 1, you got to take that thing out before it fires. Omen now targeting that nuke launcher, and I don't think it is long for this world now if the shields can stay online. And it upgrades, and the shield fully essentially not regens but fills up. But in the east, Insidious defeated by Team 1's Protect. Looks like it was not a good time for him. I don't know what killed him. Looks like a lot of Harbingers, but the explosion in the west. Team 2 kills off Tabernacle roughly at the same time that they lose a player, so it's now a 5v5 game. Nuke launcher is about to load. The shields are down, and there goes the nuke. Ooh. That's gotta hurt. I was very, very close. It wasn't 99%, but man, was it close. Oh, I felt that as a fan of the kabooms. That hurt. That hurt really bad. Oof. But we have now, of course, seen the reports that each team has lost 1 player. That being but Insidious in the east and Tabernacle in the west. Likely we have to face 3. What's going on? For some reason, your team just got lucky. Nice news. Something. Oh, talking about, I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, in the east, Team 1 Zelby just pushing in here in the east. Looks like Protect, he went in with his Harbingers. It looks like that's what killed Insidious Noob, and then the Colossus killed off the UEF commander of Tabernacle. Colossus getting in pretty deep here for Team 2's Winter. I mean, he's continuing to just pressure and pressure and pressure. Lots of damage going down for the eco situation. Not even 20 minutes on the clock. Team 1 at 1.4k mass income. Team 2, 1.5k mass income. That is just a lot of mass to have very, very early. This game popped off real quick, and I don't think it's letting up any time soon. Colossus still alive at 2-star veterancy. There is now a newly minted Colossus here for Team 1's Chicken. Of course, not producing chickens, producing Colossi. Like I said earlier, gets another rank of veterancy. Will live a little bit longer, but I don't think it'll live that much longer, especially with those Percys nearby that will blitz down that Experimental's health bar. The Navy has been denied for Team 2, and it is not looking good here. Those battleships very, very crucial here for Team 1 winning Navy and taking out a nuke. So far, Protect looking like a very, very good candidate for MVP so far, and showing why he is a 2200. Teleporter has been started here for MSG. It looks like he's going to go for the Telemazer combo and call it a day. Maybe he's going to target an air grid. Maybe he'll target a con. Maybe he'll do both. Maybe he won't do either. RAS has been started here for Drimmer in the middle, going for a RAS as we speak. And it says make flak with it, says Protect, talking about probably this land facility. Grab has been started by Zelby. Skipping the monkey phase. I guess the monkey phase kind of already got skipped by... well, that didn't get skipped, but Team 2 built a really, really, really early monkey anyways. But look at those cruiser missiles coming in and just raining down missiles constantly. This is the range that they can fire, and they can get a little bit closer as well. So probably the base of Winter is probably as far south as they probably can go. So Dimitri will be fine, but everywhere else on Team 2 will not be fine. Dimitri inherits the base owned by Insidious, and it looks like Chicken inherited the base owned by Tabernacle. So the highest rated player on Team 2 gets a base, and a decently high rated player on Team 1 gets another base. So that will definitely, of course, coincide with a lot of mass in their coffers and more build power and all of the goodies that come with it. Unfortunately, each team lost a player, but that's just how the game rolls sometimes. Team 1 at 20 minutes and 34 seconds, 1.7k mass income. Team 2, 1.5k mass income, partially due to the fact that they're just being constantly bombarded by missiles from Drimmer in the middle. Team 1, of course, lost Tabernacle. Team 2 lost Insidious Noob, so it was a 5v5 game. And let me know down in the comments who is going to win, or who you think is going to win, or who you would love to win, or who you're rooting for, or what player you'd like to see die in the next 2 or 3 minutes or something. Let me know down in the comments. I really do appreciate all of the attention you give to these videos. So again, if you really, really do like them, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, just do all the good things that YouTube loves to see. And that Colossus from Team 1's Chicken kills off Team 2's Red, and that Colossus dies at the last moment. Very, very unfortunate for Team 2. It's now a 5v4, of course, after I do the whole kind of like mid-game situation update thingamajig is when somebody dies. That's usually how that works, right? Little ball of restores here for Dimitri, hanging on the eastern edge. Of course, ASF's hanging out in the back line. Dimitri sitting at, of course, there are different types of ASF sitting at, it's a 77 for Team 1, or sorry, for Team 2's Dimitri. Team 1's Amun-Ra at 63, and then we know that Protect's in the air a little bit. And he has some gunships, and that's it. But look at the dead mexes everywhere here for Team 2, both on the east and on the west half. Look at this. Look at all these dots around the map. There's no exploiting of the resources on the map here for Team 2. One reason why their eco is so far behind Team 1's. These cruisers are just being oppressive. We are seeing a couple of Harbingers almost get shot at, but we are seeing some volcanoes trying to be built, but not being built in time, unfortunately. Would love to see some Loyalists deal with these cruiser missiles here from Team 2. That'd be from Voss or from MSG. Most likely not from MSG. His base is not feeling good, so Voss would have to build them. But he's going for Nuke and, of course, air. But the bomber is done for Dimitri. So the Boom Booms are with Team 2, whether they are mobile or not. And we'll see if Team 1 is going to be prepared for that. Of course, they already knew about the earlier nuke, so some players do already have SMD coverage. There are some places that don't have that, which could be viable targets. This would be a huge thing to take out for Team 2, especially with all of the now aircraft carriers online, as of course the Omen's sitting there. And now the Torrent-class missile ship is online. Large group of ASFs moving into the west. Maybe they're going to try to draw Team 1 into a nice little engagement here. Protect the bomber who's still scaling the western edge of the map. Bomber is spotted by Tabernacle. I always want to say Tabernacle for some reason. And there's a couple of AA in the water over here, but that's not going to stop this bomber. It has a target in mind, and that target is going to be some mass extractors. Nice little plot in the middle of that. And the bomber is going to go off the edge of the map. Those ASFs going to not be able to target it for a little bit. The bomber makes it out with more than 50% of its hit points remaining. Drops another bomb. Takes out more mexes. And maybe we'll get one more bomb off before it dies. Does it drop the bomb? Does it drop the bomb? It's going to try to hover bomb. It doesn't drop the bomb. It still doesn't drop the bomb. There goes the bomb right out the side door. Ooh, Chicken's going to feel that in the morning. And some of those ASFs are going to feel. And that's a kill here for Team 2's Dimitri. And it looks like this air grid is not feeling good here in a second. Trying to just drop those bombs. Bomber's like, just get out the chute. Go away. Nice drop in the middle of that thing. Very slow bomb to land, but it will land. It's now a 4v4 game. And Team 1's Protect actually control Ks because of that. Ooh, just let's say just report and let's end this as MSG. Probably talking about the fact that he flew his map, his bomber off map. And Protect says you will be my first report ever. That is some not spice. That is some salt here for both of these teams. And Dimitri's like, yeah, I don't care. That's what he said. Don't care. Most of those ASFs are gone. But look at this. Team 1 was heavily in the lead for the everything. And now mass incomes for both teams roughly about the same. And the entire western side is gone. Yeah, there's constantly talk about bannable in chat. Did you control your base? Question mark. Yes, says Chicken. Me, question mark. So that's bannable as well. Lol, says MSG. So yeah, just very much not a civil game, but I think it would be the way to say that nicely. And yeah, there's just constantly talking in chat. Two wrongs don't make a right kind of thing, I think is what Winter's getting at. But again, I don't know the exact rules one way or the other about one thing or the other. I'm just a caster. I'm here reporting on a really, really, really high rated game, so don't at me, please. Taking no sides in this debate or in conversation or whatever. Anyways, talking about what game going on. Team 1 on this eastern side pushing back Team 2 quite heavily. And Zelby's doing a very, very good job of just ramming Team 2 back and back and back and back and back. A couple of Colossi and Harbingers waiting to receive punishment, essentially. Megalith over here for Team 1. Advanced Nano coming online for Drimmer. Tons of cruisers on the shoreline here. Team 2 has their work cut out for them in the TMD department or the nuke department if Team 2's nuke does fire. Which so far it's not, but it might here soon. That bomber did a ton of damage. That's really, really rough. The spice, the salt in this game is real. You can taste it. You can cut it with a knife. I guess you can. I mean, if you can have you can have salt blocks. You can cut it with a knife. You can cut spice in half. Just don't touch your eyes when you cut some spicy food. That would be very, 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 very bad for your eyes. Don't do that. Zelby sitting in the back going for a cloaking upgrade on board. That commander already has Nano and T2. And in terms of upgrades, looks like another bomber. Same bomber built here by Dimitri. That thing got out of dodge somehow. I'm very surprised. It probably just went all the way down this western edge and then all the way back around. But while Team 1 is winning the eastern front, Team 2 is winning the western front, mostly due to the fact that it's uncontested at this point. You do see the bombers still holding position over some AA. Not the best place to stand. Gunships online for Team 2 in the T2 department. I thought I saw some restorers, but they might have died. There goes more and more T3 units. That bomber kills now at 166,000. Mass kill, 230 kills. And the thing is still alive, I might add. It is still alive. 2 Colossi with the assistance of those ASFs protecting said bomber. And, of course, the gunships nearby do a very good job of dealing with that megalith from Team 1. But still, Team 1 has a huge advantage with having this sphere quite literally in the middle of the map of influence. Look at this. Like, look at all... Well, that's the wrong team and the wrong player. Look at that sphere of influence, though, with all those cruisers. There is no air unit getting anywhere near that. Both, of course, in the AA department and the missile department. Team 1's Northwestern player looks like Amon-Ra defeated by MSG. He went for teleporter and went for torp launchers as well and kills off another player for Team 1. It's now a 2v4 game. We do see that the orange player of Winter pushing in against that fat boy. That sandwich is not getting away from that Colossus. He will claim that tasty, tasty ice cream sandwich. My opinion, I think the Klondike bars taste better, but they're very hard to eat. My opinion, I would prefer a Klondike bar, but that bomber just gets annihilated. And there it goes. Does kill a couple of those cruisers off, to be fair. But anyway, Fat Boy, very easy to eat. I wouldn't say it's as good as a Klondike bar, but again, the issue I have with the Klondike bar is not that it's good. It's that you bite into it and it just disintegrates. All of that chocolate, thin chocolate coating just cracks and goes everywhere. It's very hard to eat. It's very messy. The Fat Boy, you just have those, if you're eating at least with no, paper or plastic or whatever you're covering the sandwich with, you get all that sandwich on your fingers, which is fine. That's not a big deal for me. But anyway, Nuke launched first of the game here for Team 2. Team 1's MSG Control Ks. Did he Control K by accident? I would assume it's by accident. And then Sylvie's really funny. He's just laughing. He's like, ah. So I don't know. Okay, tell me if you pushed the wrong button. Please tell me you pushed the wrong button. No? You're not going to say anything? Fine. I'm just going to assume that you pressed Control K by accident. Anyway, in the Naval Department, kaboom! There it goes. There goes the T2 Naval Facility. The UEF-1 is perfectly fine, though. The, of course, Aeon-1 was destroyed in the Control K-ing of the base for Team 1's Protect. Another bomber is built and just gets annihilated by all of those cruisers. Those cruisers also protected, of course, by those bulwarks, so able to tank a decent chunk of damage with those. Of course, the aircraft carriers from the Seraphim also have not cruiser missiles, but have TAC missiles as well, so that's also annoying, and they have good AA, so very, very annoying to do it. Just look at the nonsense right here. Team 2 is just being punished by those TAC missiles. Well, I mean, yes, they are technically TAC missiles. I just call them cruiser missiles because technically they are different. I guess they're not technical. Anyway, technicalities and all that. They're same, but not same. I'll just leave it at that. How's that nuke loading? It is a quarter of the way or so, possibly a third. Almost done. Crab almost done as well for Team 2. But those cruisers, again, the only issue with them, of course, is their range at this point. Well, yeah, their range is great. The only issue is they can only go so far. Oh, that's the wrong thing. They can only go so far. Anything in the southeastern corner for Team 2 is well protected just by territory, just by map, but the map itself. We can see in the west, Colossus pushing into the T2 naval headquarters here for the UEF side of things for Dremmer. That thing is not long for this world and is going to die. Goodbye, cruisers. At least for the governors, at least. We have another experimental here for Team 2's Dimitri. Another experimental here. Another experimental here. He's been pumping those things out and sending them across the map. And now we see in his base still building more just key gens and whatnot to help out his power reserves. Just all of the volcanoes being built and the zappers. You can hear them just constantly firing ARAS coming online here for winter. Look at all these zappers. Just been like, nope, 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 nope. That's all they're saying is nope. There is a crab over here for Zelby. Another crab over here for him as well. He has 2 crabs over here. Nothing over here. Harbinger's running around the eastern side. Colossus, where did it end up going? It was over here, and then it went over here to the north. 2 Colossi on the northern edge here for Team 1 to scoop up, kind of out of the way. But that wreck gonna do a little bit of damage to that brick, kill it. I don't think that Colossus will die before the chicken kills him. And that Colossus will kill off the chicken. And that Colossus, if it doesn't get away soon, will die from the Ion Storm. Gunships on the western side here. Team 1 and Team 2 not really exploiting the same advantage in the sense that Team 2, of course, is going on this western edge. Team 1 does have a decent chance in just pushing in, but doesn't want to go too far in. And, of course, Team 1 has the Navy advantage, which they've been sitting on for a while. And at this point, if you're building more cruisers, it's not going to do that much more work, especially with all of the Team D being built. I think it's time to transition to battleships or even just go for nukes or something else. 3 Colossi sitting in the water, having a nice little soak. This crab barely has its feet wet, actually. Barely has a toe wet. And that crab is dead. Team 2, 1.1k mass income. Team 2 at 700. Is that power? That has to be power related. No. Wow, it's not power related. That's very surprising. Drimmer, you need to get more everything online. There's so many mexes around the map for both teams to grab. In terms of a reclaim currently sitting on the map, of course, there's a couple of Awasa wrecks, but 500,000 mass. We're at the point in this game, ladies and gentlemen, that there is more mass on the field now than there was when the game started. Granted, that happens in most matches, but given the fact that we started with over 400, or probably 400, roughly 400,000 mass, it is a huge amount to be up in terms of reclaim on the map. And players, I mean, they could go for all the reclaim. Of course, they'll continue to get their passive, quote-unquote, income. Zelby, control case, he's probably just had enough of it and doesn't want to give Team 1 the satisfaction of a kill. There he goes. Sorry, Team 2 the satisfaction of a kill. He's on Team 1. And technically, he died by the control K. It looked like the Colossus stopped firing at the very last moment, probably because the comm technically died already. It was kind of close, kind of hard to see there. But it is now a 1v3 game here between Drimmer of Team 1 and Dimitri Voss and Winter of Team 2. We see the Harbingers pushing into the east here with a nice little Colossus to boot. Colossus focusing the bricks, not the Colossus, the Megalith standing right next to it. And will not be able to kill it anyways, but still could have done some damage to it. Dimitri sends over some units to, or sorry, receives some units from Voss. Those bombers still hanging out. We see Drimmer hanging out with his Nano and T3 and ARAS. 55,500. It should be a 55, so it would be 55555. He's like 5s, but I think 5s had 4 5s. And this guy would have 5 5s if it was every digit was 5. 5s is from the Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars, the series. I'd say it's probably best. It's not all the best. I feel like there are definitely some seasons that are a lot better than most, or than some, but there are definitely a lot of good arcs in that show. Bad Batch wasn't too bad. I feel like it was just more of a continuation of the Clone Wars rather than it being its own kind of thing. But it's still good, but it wasn't as good as I'd say a third or half of the arcs of the Clone Wars. Anyways, those cruisers not feeling good, but of course doing tons of damage due to the fact that crab wasn't moving. The chicken doesn't have torpedoes. The crab does have torpedoes, and the crab is now booping this chicken, who's like, can I get, please, can you move, please, can you just move, please, can you move? Kind of the action is pretty much just died down. All the crazy nonsense has kind of just went the wayside. Team 1's Drimmer is doing a very good job still, even though he's facing 3 players, doing a very good job of keeping steady and continuing to just push. I mean, he unless he has some big ticket item that he's building that I don't see yet, I feel like Team 2 eventually will just steamroll them. You see just the sides on the, especially the west, just collapsing. The eastern side looking decently strong, but it's mainly just engineers going for reclaim. Nuke is outbound from Team 2's Voss, going after, looks like just more eco for Team 1. Lots of AA over here, some T2, T3, and T1s. Kaboom, kills off 1, 2, 3 mechs is there. That's some eco. It's better than nothing. I would have probably gone after something else. There's no SMD coverage for Team 1 at all. Oh, there's one down there, so I guess that's why you went over there. That Omni in the middle has been there for a while. Great placement here by Team 1. That Colossus does not make it far. There's a lot of dead wrecks everywhere for both teams to scoop up. I mean, I've been saying that for a while now. There's so many wrecks. Chicken pushes in here against Team 2's Dimitri's base. Gets decently far, and the YOLO is now built and launched by Dimitri. Apologies for missing that. That's on the edge of the map, kind of hidden by the everything that's sitting around it. One super nuke and one regular nuke. Team 1 has bugs. Team 1 has bugs. I don't think that is the same thing, but there goes the YOLO. Will the bug even finish? Probably not. That's going after the power. That's not going to feel good. The bomber over here to the west here for Drimmer is almost done. There goes the nuke. And of course, dead silent. Kaboom! Another nuke is outbound, and I feel like at this point with the YOLOs firing constantly, I think I'll speed this game up. Just +1. I feel like +1's fast enough. I feel like +2 is really useful for just like the end-to-end. And then we do see that Drimmer is like, I'm gonna move now. There comes that bomber. It's going straight in. It looks like it's giving no opportunities for any sort of deviation. Was going for the snipe on Drimmer's comm. The bomber takes some damage. Goes, nope, see ya, bye.
Strategic launch detected.
Did Dimitri try to snipe the bomber out of the air? Is that what he tried to do? If he did know about it? No, there's no way he could have known that was a bomber. That could have just been an air scout. Here comes the bomber straight down the middle. Team 2, got to have the shields online or it's not going to be a good day. ASF holding position on the ground. There goes the bomb. It drops on top of the shields. It won't be enough, and it probably will just do damage to itself. At least that's what it looked like a little bit. Tries to drop the bomb out of the side pocket there. Will kill off a chunk of engineers. Will not be able to destroy the YOLO entirely due to the crash damage not being as effective as it once was. I mean, it's been a while since that update happened. Winter going for T2 on his comm. We have another experimental on the eastern side here. It's another crab. That crab is gonna die, not get that much more out of it, unfortunately. Probably will kill off maybe a couple of engineers, maybe not. All this will do is just fund Team 2's Dimitri's eco even more with that YOLO right next door. Sorry, that YOLO, that Awasa bomber right next door. This SMD, how many do you have loaded? 0. That's not great here for Team 1. Got to get more SMDs online or it's going to be a quick game. Or a quicker game, I should say. In the east, I think it's going after this position. Tons of engineers are going down. Drimmer, how much has your team scooped up and reclaimed? 700,000 mass in reclaim scooped up by Team 1. Almost 600,000 by Team 2. 1.3 million mass has been reclaimed in this game. Absolutely nuts. It's just nuts. Just absolutely crazy amount. Oh, of course, kaboom. And most of those engineers, of course, were scooping up for their families. They are not returning home today. And there'll have to be some reports gone out by their superiors or by their bosses saying, hey, we apologize, but your insert relative relation here is no longer with us. Is that an artillery piece for Team 2? It is an artillery piece for Team 2, made by Voss, extended off of his air grid. He has a nuke. He has artillery. Team 2 has a YOLO. Not great here for Team 1 now. There goes that YOLO. It's going to go for the cruisers. Yes, it will. And there goes those boats. Those boats are going to die. Those boats are not going to feel good. Team 1's remaining player, Drimmer, is out of there. And the crab, I think it actually got hit by his own nuke. That's not great planning there by Voss, but of course he did a lot of damage to those cruisers, put a lot of pressure off of not only himself but his other teammates as well. Winter has a base over here now. Second Colossus coming online. First one is done. Why is my mouse always low on battery? Every single time I either cast a game or whatever the heck happens, my battery ends up being low. I don't know why. Looks like another bomber inbound going for that YOLO. Crash damage. Not going to make it in time. I don't. It wouldn't have been enough. It would have been over 8,000 at that point, and still would have been fine based on the last damage from the first YOLO. First Awasa that attempted to do that. And the nukes are just flying at this point. There's no rhyme or reason about it. Just launch, 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 launch. There's not that much here remaining here for Team 1's Drimmer. That's, I mean, this is a chunk and this is a chunk, and that's really about it. And that's Omni maybe going to still be alive. Yeah, look at that. Still alive. I don't know if it's going to be alive for long, but it's going to be still alive for now. We have a couple of some cruisers having some struggles with these Yenzin inbound from Dimitri. Having some fun time dealing with the rest of those cruisers that Team 1's Drimmer built a while ago. That YOLO is going to nowhere, but it's going to kill off the rest of that reclaim over there. How much reclaim's on the map now? We had 500,000. Now we're still at 500,000 total reclaimed. Now we're closing in on I was going to say 1,400,000, but that would just be 1.4 million. So yeah, that's how math works, I think. Another experimental over here. It is a crab going after this base for Winter. But like I said, I don't think there's any way that Drimmer can recover from this. I think had he been building a big ticket item, you know, Game Ender, a lot of experimentals or something, when I said he probably should be building that, like 10 minutes ago, whatever that was, that probably would have been something that he could rely on. But at this point, with the YOLO online, on the edge of the map, cruisers were out of range. It didn't help that everything happened earlier on between Protect and Dimitri. That Colossus is probably dead, so that's not going to feel good. But Team 1's Drimmer did a valiant job at the end there. There goes the Colossus. It is dead. It did not survive.
Strategic launch
and it's just, oh, a nuke landing here. Looks like they were trying to predict where Drimmer was going to walk. Again, 55,500 hit points, 270 hit points a second regen. And there are bombers inbound, gunships are inbound, Yenzin are inbound, Chicken is inbound. Will Dimitri throw in the towel? Will he just die by explosion? He gets singed by that YOLO. Oh, there are bombers constantly raining in their torpedoes. Team 2's Winter could be building solaces. He just doesn't have a T3 air facility online. Another nuke gonna land right here. Probably just put it. Probably should have just put it in the middle of the pond and called it a day at this point. Look at the ASF. Look at the bombers. Look at the everything. That is a dead comm. He's going nowhere fast, and he just accepts his fate. There he goes. 15,000 mass killed on board that commander, and that's the game here, folks. Team 2 wins it with Dimitri, Winter, and Voss remaining, or still alive, I should say. Built 2 artillery and a nuke for Voss. Built the YOLO for Team 2's Dimitri. And MVPs for this game, I'm not going to touch this one. It's a little too spicy to touch an MVP. Definitely some questionable moves made. Again, not going to comment on them. Let me know down in the comments how you feel about everything that happened earlier on. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the game, even though stuff didn't happen. Again, stuff happens in not every game, but a lot of games. It just happened to be this one. But hopefully everybody enjoyed it. We saw a YOLO. We saw a bunch of cruises in the water. And we saw some Awasa bombers, which I'd love to see. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And, of course, I'll see all of you in the next one.